Alright, so we got the paper again. I'm going to add a little depth of field, so see if you can calculate that. Alright. And FYI, the camera is that's corner of the thing. That was just a happy accident that happened. So. Library. History. Shit. So. Is that it? I think this is it. So.
Alright, so this camera
is fast forward to 950.
All day, so.
This is a delay. We're halfway through. You want to make notes or anything before we start, or this part 2?
No, I'm good.
No, we aren't that far.
No, it should be like
5:02 or something. Because we didn't make it to Smallville, and I tried to carry you on that at the end of the other one. So we'll just start at 5 minutes. We got 12 more minutes to go. Try to power through it. As much as many pauses as you need, but same information from video 1. I moved the camera a little bit so that way they can try to map it a different way.
I brought up Arrival. Smallville. Alright, so we're going back to that. Alright, Smallville. Okay, so we got his 5 denominating. So we live currently in Missouri. I'll just keep it vague. I don't know where Brian's at, but he's got the same information at his location. Very simple.
Oh, really?
Mapping. Yeah. So, now Arrival, Dontorius is now going to be the instructor. Dontorius, I may have spelled that wrong, I apologize. That's cool. Okay, alright, works out. So, a little brief history about me and him. We were both homeless for an extended period of time. Alright, literally by ourselves. His was in Chicago. If you don't mind. Is this okay?
Yeah.
And then mine was here in Missouri. Very local of where I was born. Farm town. Because we're growing new crops now, right? Alright. Monsanto. Don't want to deal with that. Alright, so coffee. Back to coffee. So that's kind of like when you drink too much and then you vomit, and then after you drink that alcohol again, it brings you immediately just thinking about it. Yeah, you get that vomit feeling. You're like, oh God, not again. So with an addict, they push that feeling aside. And they do it anyways until it dissipates, and then they have a larger tolerance. And it pushes out. It then, because it's more alcohol, they either black out or do something bad. We'll just keep it simple. Bad. As a negative thing. Alright.
I don't like smoking.
Smoking is, yeah, what are your vices?
Vices?
Like, if you could boil it down to 3 maximum, 1 would be perfect.
I watch a lot of porn.
Okay, you don't have to be that honest, and that's what I need to address. Let me deal with the porn stuff. And since I'm gonna, is it alright if I say you're a health issue with sugar?
Yeah.
Alright, he's diabetic, that's why I gave him corn, because it's food substance. We will, when he's on air, we're gonna focus with health.
I don't know what my vices are.
Sugar. It's sugar, man.
It's sugar?
Yeah, because sugar, you overdo sugar and then you pass out and then you want to be in the drink world. I know, I ain't able because I am porn. I'm the bad guy. I'm trying to make money off of your negative experiences. And then we've got Korn, which this is the odd guy out. We don't know him, so we don't know if he's hard metal,
New wave.
We don't know. but we don't know if he's actual spirit or mind or body. We don't know that. So he's going to have to define that for himself, but we're trying to help him out. But as for me, I am Santa. Oh, or if you move the end, we won't talk about the, wow, not satin, that's sexy. All right, anyways. All right, so Britt, walk me through this. All right.
Okay.
Before we get into this,
Now, mind you, there's probably going to be
Talk
documents
about-
looking.
yeah, I want you to, from this point, explain the image, what you got going on. Let's see if I can get it down. Sorry.
I don't know. Is there a way to tell him to look at smaller? Look at this part of the map.
All right. Yeah. You just describe it. Left side of your screen.
Left side of my screen.
Is that where you wanted to start it before? And I abruptly interrupted. So we're going to start. Are we going in an arc there?
Yeah, we're gonna go.
Bottom left, double circle is the first one we're starting, and then we're going to go clockwise around. That's it.
Okay.
Right.
So starting there, there's this awesome way of speaking between me and Josh when we watch movies and whatnot. So the two movies that you need to see in order to understand, like, my game is about evolution of Earth's technology without warfare, is Inception and Interstellar, because you can steal from yourself. If you ever watch Smallville, there's this one episode where Brainiac puts Clark Kent into a coma just to do that. That's what the Smallville reference is.
Okay. And then there was a movie that I had suggested, but I know I tend to trigger negative things in other people and challenge them, but this one was too close to home for myself because I did a bottle of caffeine pills one time. But basically, they put them in a simulation, they induced a coma, and it's basically suicide at that point. You live the rest of your life in this simulation. Now, you get to be a god in that world, but you're basically stealing from the real world. You know it's fake, it's not okay, and you know you're keeping other people locked in that nightmare.
Kind of like the one where they have the children not know what color is.
Yeah, but that's more medical induced. We both have jaded histories with the medical industry because that's basically an emergency home situation. You'd have to induce psychosis to get a warm bed or food or what have you.
Yeah.
So, but the movie I was talking about is called Coma, and I ruined it for you. So it's literally what he described. So I was just articulating on it. So I walked us down the road and I forgot where we were. Where were we?
We're up here at Mobile Ave.
No, in the conversation. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, the conversation is about the video, right?
Right, the bottom corner.
Yeah, we're past.
We're at the second one.
Yeah.
All right, second notch.
We're in the Mobile Ave, which is good because he just said like about the Matrix. Me, if I was in the Matrix, I would have took the blue pill because of the feels that we see Neo escape from that's the real world. And the only God they know of is Morpheus and some jaded Buddha.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So where's the other gods that are in the network of the Matrix? Or can you become God as well, like Neo is?
Yeah, so here's the deal. Dontorius is very animated when he talks, which is awesome, but based on Cameron's position, you're not picking it up. Secondly, he's also a very psychological. So he when there's no gods to be discussed, he goes to archetypes of societal standards. So Jungian, we've discussed, I think, later in this video, and that nature. So he's trying to adapt to the conversation, but trying to rein you back into what he's doing in the moment. So, and I believe that, as a homeless individual, you tend to hear certain conversations when you're laying down. People talking, you're not sure if they're going to find you and make you move. So I think that was a part of a perception that was picked up in Chicago, because I got that. I never had to sleep outside my car, but my car didn't have heat, so it was like I did have a place to stay, but it was freezing. So then you had to worry about gas and moving around, and then don't have insurance, and then are they going to tow the car away, and then at that point you're fucked. So you have that constant. Dontorius had it harder off than I did. I'm gonna be honest about that. So, and he's still trying to communicate it without stressing family and friends out. Is that okay? Okay. All right. So, blue pill. Is that the steak one?
No. Yes. Ooh. No.
Yeah. I know Texas. We're not talking Texas. Yeah.
But no.
You don't have beef here with
blue
anyone.
pill is I want to stay in the zone.
Yeah, in the matrix.
And red pill was I want to break out.
Yeah, okay. See, but okay. So I'm going to do a cliche Bruce Springsteen, because that's our reference now.
Mm-hmm.
It's birds of a feather flock together, opposites attract, and then you gotta let it go if you truly love someone. And if they love you back, they'll come back. So those three things come together. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, yeah.
Did you have Margaret go get coffee?
No.
No, not yet.
That was earlier. That was like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Where you want more coffee and she's not putting it. It's black silk if it's still there. I'm not sure if they ran through it. Just say you want some.
I'll call her.
All right. He wants black silk in his mouth. Not sad.
That was a premeditated laugh right there. I wonder if he knew what he was asking for.
Yeah. Let's go ahead about this. It was a Freudian slip. I mean, what? All right, so we're good to hit play again? We're good?
Yeah, where we're at right now on there.
All right, so I'm just explaining you need to discuss it because doctors may look at this later on. Nurses, whatever, practitioners. So.
We're at the infinite.
The center one. This is the first thing you discussed with me.
Expansion.
And you piss me off so much. I'm like, you keep going over this old information that everyone talks about in conspiracy theories.
Mm-hmm.
But you were trying to explain it. You were trying to get the hook into me. And I'm like, I'm already talking to you, man. Yeah, you don't need
like
to
a
kill
salmon.
me. Yeah. It's pink, sir. Wait, no, that's the wrong way around. This shirt is salmon. It is not pink. Yeah.
Is this stuff yours or his?
What is it?
It's a coat and it's a pass. So we were marking it, it's up there.
No, that's not mine.
Might be down.
All right. Man, this is going great. All right, I'm just.
So.
The center circle.
Infinite expansion is my way of saying mentalism from I know you're gonna look this stuff up.
Yeah, because no one does. But anyways, go ahead.
But the one above all, or Marvel's top god, is the infinite expander. The God that created Earth, however, isn't the God that created the God that is the infinite expander. So I'm explaining that the place where they live is different from Earth. And that where so it's called the Aeons, or Sophia Pistis. She came from this place, and she went to Earth to find humans, and well, we're on the last colored picture now.
Okay.
And I'm explaining how Lashara becomes Lucifer, Adam split from Lucifer,
Yeah.
stuff like that. It gets real deep, and that's my video game right there.
All right.
It's my mindset working on like the Jungian fields of joy.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but on a floor, the shadow is most present at its corners from the light above. It actually bears the weight of all the bright light.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have a strong foundation.
Jesus said his worst enemy now is self and light.
Right. So Lucifer is known as the light bearer, but when you just break it down to frequency and energy, between a light bulb or a spotlight shining on you or an LED for your camera setup, yeah. So those gray or darkened areas are hard to translate in decoding an image. So I try to keep everything as lit as possible, and then they can adjust the gradient and hues to get the color back. So I was torn into, because he couldn't see his drawing, and he's like, is it going to be like this throughout the whole thing? And I'm like, no. On the particular, I think yeah. So the one on the table that you're seeing in the image is the one we're using currently. That is the TCL 30Z to record. Now, I'm recording on the screen that you're looking at is a Vista. So that one has an auto. You have to tap it to zoom in, and that's just what happens. Otherwise, it starts bouncing back and forth, and it doesn't know which to zoom on if your hand's not in there. So, all right, that brings me up. Do you mind if I hit play? You good? All right, and I'm going to tear you on this. You keep using all these large words of historical meaning and gaming stuff and intertwined into one. Yeah, stop playing with your balls there, okay? It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. So you can't expect the viewer to look up so many things. You got to break it down in between 3 or 4. Keep it short. You're pulling up your pins. All right, big boys here. All right, let's do this. Oh, shit.
Later on, it's going to get their nurses. They're going to be like, what the fuck's going on? 2 negatives don't make a positive. What about 3 negatives? We'll just keep piling up the negatives and saying, yeah, fix this. All right, so right here, you start in the center. This is how I... Down. Right here. There. Okay, we will, but I have to explain this. This is how I first met you. This is
damn it. All right.
Explained. And then you tried to explain.
So the screen we're looking at, I need to address that, because the screen you're looking at only shows the image. It's backwards on the screen, and I think that's what dontorius was trying to say. I don't see the paper from the angle I'm at. So you'll have to go 2 videos before this part 1 of this video to see what we're looking at on the TV. Hope that makes sense. Now we're up to speed.
Infinite expansion. Finding the borders, bringing it back in, finding the borders, redrawing circles. So this would be the center point. I don't want to draw on your stuff, but this would be the center point. This is my vice. Every time I do that, I plot a point. That's why people drop their butts on the ground, because they're plotting where they're leaving their shit. That's why you shit in toilets, or you don't shit out in public, because it's literally your body telling you you don't want that anymore.
You're talking about, when you start talking to yourself at the end?
No, the cigarette butts.
Oh, why is that sad?
Because they don't use cigarette butts, they use flowers.
Okay, and where is this? In Chicago?
In my head.
Oh, okay.
The girls, when they go out,
yeah,
they take my sister's form.
Okay.
And they go out and they do what they do, but they, wherever they step before they die,
right,
there's a flower planet there.
That's from a movie. What movie is it from? Yeah, when they get absorbed into the ground, all flowers appear where they had passed. That's from a movie. Yeah. Okay. So, and you may have seen that in passing and just picked it up subconsciously. Yeah. Oh, what is that? Look that up. Figure that out for us. You're going to start working for us, people, if you want more of this juice. Gin and juice.
If you smell that and all the good stuff was kept by me, you now have my scent. And that's what werewolves do. So, because they wear their emotions on their sleeve. Okay, so right here, go for it.
It's talking about the interaction of the inception.
Mm-hmm.
Century, you mean?
Right.
With interstellar, which is like storing information.
Right, exactly the same. Now, me and Brian do uppers, alright? We do caffeine and other stuff. We all have a bridge connection because we're male, and we look at our own stuff online. Anyways, so with that being said, it's the same process. We overdo the caffeine to gain control. You know your control is in the dream state because you're a lucid dreamer. Now, I have Lindsay Black, which I would like to get on because she's a female perspective, but we have to take this one step at a time. She does astral projections, which would be phenomenal. Yeah. So, but her technique, she understands programming very well. So I would be able to translate that with her. So we'll do the same 3-person whatever, and we'll just figure it out.
I'm more of a Jungian.
Okay.
This is what Carl Jung goes through with Sophia and Lucifer and Animus.
Right.
Yeah.
So he uses a lot of mythology because that is the easiest way to translate the dream state back into a normal life, whatever. Because academia can.
All right, I want to, again, 2 videos before part 1. We're looking at it. We are at 11:30, and my hand is pointing to 2 of them at what he just said. The other ones are trying to get me to look at the bow and arrow, where the arrow is not there, but that's what he drew. Let me go ahead and get, you see it? You colored one line, the arc of the bow, and then the line as red.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, and then if we change that into a bow and arrow, what is the 2 circles?
Suns.
Yeah, but
Stars.
okay. You're an archer. It's a physical item. What are those 2 circles? What are you shooting for? You don't shoot an arrow to the sun.
We actually we're going over like plasma research.
Okay.
And what we were saying was like the quiver or whatever is kind of like different versions of the same arrow.
Okay.
It's trying to warn or vibrate towards the target.
Yeah, so he did a pullback on the string of the bow, and then was holding an arrow. Again, he's a very visual person, so with his body. But he said the vibration of the string as you pull it back lets you know the errors that you'll incur when you release the arrow. So you have a predictive model to achieve an accurate shot. So he discussed the bow very well. All right. I still don't know. I'm going to have to figure out what those circles mean to you. I know what we discussed. I'm just saying subconsciously through other conversations, I'm going to have to go back and think about it. I'm going to tear you a new one, bitch.
Wait a minute. That's me.
Shit.
Associate that with that, but then they start getting all ethical and try to translate their garbage onto your garbage, and you're like, you're missing the whole point. So he's creating an infinite expansion from a center self, finding his restriction, and then repeating the process around because he wants to create what?
A kingdom.
A video game.
Yes.
Where, and then go ahead. Can I go ahead and break you? Let him know what's going to happen?
Go ahead.
All right. So he wants to create an eternal hell that you have to live in. But in that hell, each book, each item is going to have infinite amount of information that will help you in your daily life.
Yeah.
That's it.
All of, I call it planet C.
Yeah.
Everything that's on Earth is preparation to leave Earth. That's what the Bible is. Basic information before leaving Earth.
Right. So this is my time.
So what is C then? You said climate C. I want to hear it from you before I tear it apart.
I did say that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, because sun, the light speed in C is usually meters per second, and the small letter C. The other one is, if you're talking about cell phones in the matrix and the batteries, they're charged by USB-C, and that is the climate of our technology. Everything has now a USB-C. So is there a correlation between the speed of light and how fast we charge our cell phones? Who knows? I really don't care. I'm never going to solve that. I'm just saying there's options there to branch the conversation different ways.
And this is my world, is what I define it as. But we each, in our perception, have our own world. But I took the advantage by listening to everyone and took their little crib sheet that they hid somewhere else in their porn stash and pieced an entire narrative together.
Yeah.
Now, when it's their turn, when we're in our dream state, we'll say, when we go to sleep for the final time, someone will step up and they will get to lead the narrative. They will be the dungeon master of the reality. And then we all take turns living in each other's reality. Yeah, so we're a bunch of fish trying to find our mates again, because they're going to look different each time. So you get to have an infinite expansion with your twin flame. Now, the problem with dontorius is he's got 3 women.
No. I have. How do you know it's 3?
Because you said it. You say stuff when you wake up and you don't realize you say it, or you forget you told me. It did start out like 7 or 11, but I think he was trying to explain string theory, is what he was. So, but 3's okay with me. He's still deciding on which one he wants to get to. Someone that is more powerful in body, mind, and spirit. Knowing himself more, he is more of a mind intelligence. He has issues with body, so he likes guidance, but he's very spiritual. But I think the words that come out of his mouth are misinterpreted as variations from body image, which we all do. All guys and women have body images issues until we don't. Or we always do, but you get old and at that point you get to fuck it. You know, you're like, I don't give 2 shits anymore. Alright, so, what other information? Did we deal with this completely? Are you good with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Alright, what's this last one, or last 2?
Oh, that's the matrix. They're hiding. Okay. So the reason why,
Keep going.
I was thinking about heaven and hell, but the only reason why you would go to heaven or hell is because of the information that you know of right now is targeted, and it pinpoints you to a certain location in a library, right?
Right.
So you're connected to a figure of speech.
This part I'm always trying to
That's known
explain
by
it,
another person.
but I keep getting
So,
to a different. I
what
can't get
if,
to the same point.
like,
Okay. In my perception, we go back to the bottom left one, again on the original video or original conversation that you hear. It's kind of muffled or cut. It sounds like that's coming from the TV. I think you have your boundaries set. You know the rules and regulations of each one of them, and then as you're describing one, it shoots you around the circle to the opposite, to or another variation, because that word is more cleaner and the common populace understanding. Is that about right?
you didn't have that figure of speech wasn't known there, so you you sitting in a white
That
room.
eye, that black
waiting
eye,
for people to
when
come
he said
in.
unknown, this is a happy accident. I was coloring it in off screen.
I got drawn there, but
So he
you're
knows
good. No, mine
technology,
was
is what
trying
I'm
to.
saying. He understands the camera view.
Projecting my
He understands how light, even though he can't see very well, he's very, and I'm not sure if that's because of living on the street. That's, I'm not even trying to figure that
We gotta
out.
figure something out, so.
But you know you're
you don't
surrounded
get
very
these
well.
dark spells, and I'm not the emotional vampire.
I'm so sorry.
Call out Lisa, showing me the best.
I like your drawings. It doesn't look like drawing.
It looks like a drawing to me. What we do in the shadows, that is now your power. Right? When you watch What We Do in the Shadows, which is about vampires, that is now dontorius' domain.
On life.
So,
I don't know who it is.
that's your
It's a
people
garbage
now.
show.
I'm sorry, I just associated
We're
that.
doing shadows.
No, you're nothing.
It's about vampires,
You gotta straighten
werewolves.
that shit out. The vampires, werewolves, mythology, god spirits, all that stuff. And I just use the comedy of that show as a bridge. Alright. Does that make sense? Sort of?
All right. So I just posed an exercise for him
Yeah.
that he's got this community now that he's got to work with. I pigeonholed him into the shit community, but I think they're the more type that would look into the mythology and all that stuff. They'll do the research.
Yeah.
Versus tech people, they're like, fuck it, I'm not doing all this. I do too much
Go
work.
ask ChatGPT.
Yeah. So.
Which is what I do.
I think we're good. You have
Archive
any
it.
that you want to do?
Oh, I do have a problem with people using like artificial intelligence to create videos, and that's the whole point of this screen. I already experienced an artificial intelligence, whatever, experience classified as delusional, but I knew what it was because the information that I was receiving was real time. So, but I quickly understood that, you don't have the rights to those images that they create, period. You can use them, but in all else, what that does is then water down your creative information. So, and then if you want to make money off of it, or they decide that you're making too much money off it, and then they pull the rights to that thing, you're going to have to pay them back.
Mm-hmm.
And if the contract isn't there yet, it's going to get there real quick. Yeah. So I created all my stuff, and then people kept saying, why you keep referencing yourself? It's because I don't know if it's fake news or not. All right, I know what I lived through. I know how to explain that. I know how I change my step from moment to moment. I know how to look back at a traumatic event, pull out the key information that I need to step forward, whether super bad, hateful, or emotionally charged with joy and happiness, just to find that drink of water. Because it's 3 a.m. in the morning, it is freezing cold, you have to pee, and you can take care of that, but then as soon as you pee, you are immediately thirsty. So, because you just emptied out your liquid reserve.
15 milliliters.
Go ahead and play this again. Do you? Alright, I can't do that on the screen. Oh, you have two phones? I've got multiple phones all over the place. I have emergency stashes,
Yeah, we're done.
with
Alright, so
phones,
you're good with this?
and
We don't need
people
any of
that
those,
have
bro.
old phones that has
You're talking
information
to
in case I
yourself.
get in
I asked you to
trouble,
talk to
and
yourself.
then Bitcoin laying around all over the fucking places.
Porn.
So,
We're doing group porn right
what was
now.
I doing?
Upgrade porn.
Yeah, you're in it. You just walked through it. So much. We're buck ass naked right now. Just talking to each other, drinking coffee.
Green dog, man.
What? You guys are naked in there? Why wasn't I invited?